There is two things I wish I would have known before we purchased our Tesla. That way I could have prevented what happened and saved thousands of dollars. When we got our Model 3 here back in 2018, we didn't know, and I guess Tesla didn't know either, because what actually was needed to prevent the damage that I'm talking about was not available from Tesla at the time. It became available about a year later or so, and now you can purchase those two items to prevent these two damages on the Tesla website. Also, you can buy them aftermarket as well. If I would have known that this will be happening, I would have purchased them before they were available from Tesla, because things were available aftermarket already very early on. And this could have prevented damage that now costs basically thousands of dollars to fix properly. And so at this point, I don't know if we're going to fix it properly or what we're going to do, but I definitely want to show you what's going on and what happens. And if you just purchased a Tesla or about to purchase a Tesla, what you need to do right away if you haven't done so yet. Problem number one is right down here. Maybe you can see it already. It's right there behind the wheel. Right there. The paint is gone, completely gone, down to bare metal, and we have rust showing already. Let's take a closer look. Right behind the wheel here at the front. Look at this here. We got paint damage all the way here. And we're looking at it from the top. Doesn't look so bad. Now, let's take a look from underneath. Now, what about that? That looks even worse. So, it starts up here, goes down, and look at this. But then it keeps going. It goes way back here. It's all damaged. The paint's gone. And it's rusted. And that is not just this side here. Let's take a look at the other side. It looks as bad over here. Again, it starts right on top and all the way down. I mean, the paint is literally peeling off here. And it goes all the way back. Ways back here. I mean, look at this right here. Paint's peeling. It's all rusty. So, and to repair this, I mean, you gotta paint this and this. There's a gap in between here. So basically this is the fender right here. And then this board here goes all the way back and up to the rear quarter panel. So to paint this properly, you gotta paint this whole thing going back there. And it's a huge job to do it right so that nobody can see that there was any paint done, basically. So it's really not a cheap repair at all. Well, now the question is, how do we prevent all this? Well, it would have been really easy to prevent all this if we would have known that this would be an issue. But we didn't know. Tesla didn't know. And later, at some point, Tesla, when they figured it out, they actually sent the solution to some people living in Scandinavia and Canada, but not to us. We are just 100 miles or so south of the border of Canada. And we live in Montana. We got the same road conditions as many people in Canada, maybe even worse. If you live in the big city of Vancouver, your road conditions are probably not as bad as what we have here. But they wouldn't give us the solution. The solution is mud flaps. And Tesla now sells them online. You can purchase them right off their website. There are mud flaps there. They have them for the Model 3 and the Model Y. The Model S and X are slightly different because of the way it's made, but you could run into the same problem. So mud flaps are a must here in the front. They're a must. If your Tesla came without mud flaps, buy those mud flaps. They don't look bad. They don't affect your aerodynamics or anything. It's not like you'll see a range drop of 10 miles or more or anything. No, not at all. You won't notice anything. But it can save you this. Also, if you look into purchasing a used Tesla, check this out. See if they have mud flaps or see if they have rust and paint damage like we do. Certainly, we are in maybe a little bit more of an extreme situation because we're in Montana, just like some people in Scandinavia, like people in Canada. But there's many other states where this damage can happen. This damage mainly happens due to road conditions where you have lots of gravel or sand on the road. So for us in the wintertime, lots of roads have sand on them to make them safer for driving. Also, we have lots of gravel roads, and so this gravel that is spread in the wintertime sometimes also stays for several months until it's cleaned up in the summertime. So that's what causes this damage. So make sure you get mud flaps. You don't have to get them from Tesla. There is many aftermarket mud flaps available. And if I would have known that this is going to be an issue, I would have ordered aftermarket mud flaps before Tesla even knew that it was an issue, before Tesla even sold their mud flaps online. Now, you could ask, why didn't you go back to Tesla? Well, I did. Tesla said, no, sorry, your warranty does not cover paint damage. Read your booklet. Your booklet says exactly what's covered under warranty and what's not. And I said, come on, this is a problem. And Tesla acknowledged the problem because they sent out these mud flaps. And they said, yep, but paint damage isn't covered. Sorry. I was like, what the heck? And what can you do? Well, arbitration? Really? That sounds like a lot of trouble. And I don't know, could cost more than the repair. I don't know. Never done arbitration, don't want to do it. So I was able to make a deal with the service manager at the closest service center here, which is about 200 miles away. And so my deal was, at the time, they gave me the mud flaps for free, and I got a set of all-weather floor mats for our Model S, worth about $250 or so. Obviously, that is not going to cover a repair at the body shop like this. I mean, both sides like this. It's going to cost about $2,000-$3,000 probably to have it done properly, because paint blending is really hard to do unless you have like just a single part. But yeah, this goes all the way back up into the quarter panel. And from the quarter panel, it goes up onto the roof line. It's just endless. So yeah, make sure you get mud flaps. Even if you don't live in a area like we do, where you have lots of sand and gravel, this is pretty common. This is bad. Actually, the service technician from Tesla at some point said he's seen way worse than what we have. And it's like, what the heck? What could be worse, right? So get mud flaps. That is the number one thing to do when you buy a Tesla. If it doesn't come with mud flaps, get mud flaps, okay? Why do some of them come with mud flaps? Well, in some areas, the service centers actually do install them for free before they deliver a new Tesla. Isn't that weird? But, well, not for us. So, well, it's too late now for us. we have to deal with it here at some point, and well, I'm not sure yet. I will deal with it myself, I think. We'll make a video about that so you can see what we'll do. So, number 1, buy mud flaps. Now let's look at number 2. Number 2 is here. So we were just behind the front wheel. Now we are in front of the back wheel. And no, I'm not talking about this. This is a little curb rash that happens over the years. I mean, we got this for 5 years, 85,000 miles. You expect a little curb rash. But now, you see this here on the paint? This area and down there? No, that's not dirt. What the heck? No, that is paint damage. Look. It's not going away. This is paint damage. The paint's gone. That's why it's white down there. And it's kind of this entire area here where we have paint damage. Yeah, and it kind of has to do with the front mud flaps that I just told you about. The front mud flaps do prevent or help do less damage back here. But even if you have the front mud flaps, you will get damage back here on your paint. And Tesla knows it. And it's not just on the driver's side, it's also on the passenger side. And here it's actually worse. Look at this. We got lots of damage here. We got this damage right here. We got lots of paint chips right there. We got huge paint chips. That's not dirt. Those are paint chips. This is not dirt. This is damage to the paint. Look at this. I mean, holy moly. Up here, this is dirt. There. Up here, we got some dirt. But back here, this is paint damage. That is really bad. Chipped it right there. Got lots of chips. And why more on the passenger side? There's always more damage on the passenger side, or the side where the edge of the road is, because there's always more debris coming in. There's always more debris sitting there. There's always these puddles there. It's always that side. And so that's why we have more damage. And again, this is pretty bad. So this requires paint again. So we could potentially have this painted from the front all the way back up here. But then up here, this quarter panel is huge. So we would have to paint all of this. Lots of money. And you could go to the edge, but you may have seen pictures of cars where a door looks different from a quarter panel, or a fender looks different from the hood or something. And anytime you repaint something, there's a slight difference, so you have to blend. And blending then would require actually starting to paint into the door as well, so there wouldn't be an visual color difference. So this is very expensive as well. I had no clue this would be ever happening. I have never experienced that on another car, at least not this bad. Yeah, it happens, you get some chips down there, but this is bad. We're talking 5 years, about 85,000 miles. I never experienced that. It is due to the design. It is because there's no mud flap in the front. And how do you prevent this back here? Because even if you have a mud flap, you will get some of this. And Tesla knows this is a problem, so they're selling you the solution on their website. The solution to the rear quarter panel damage there is to get PPF, paint protection fabric. And Tesla does sell a chunk of PPF that fits right down there for your Model 3 and your Model Y. I'm not sure if they sell it for the Model S and X. The Model S and X are slightly different on the bottom, so the damage that can occur on a Model S and X are different, but definitely, if I would have known, I would have bought PPF. At the time when we bought the car, Tesla did not sell that chunk of PPF that goes down there. They didn't know. Nobody knew. Many people did PPF over the entire car, or at least the bottoms and sides, and I chose not to because I never really had an issue. I mean, yes, obviously over several years and many thousands of miles, you get some paint damage, but I never had an issue like this here. So I opted not to spend about $3,000 to put PPF on my car, which now, after the fact, well, it would have been a good idea because it's probably going to cost about $3,000 to fix all this. So PPF is a must-have. At least buy that patch that goes down there. That's the minimum you have to do. Even better, actually, is maybe have the lower entire area done with PPF by a certified installer somewhere. Or if you're pretty handy, you probably could do it yourself. I don't know. I never tried it. Well, maybe I should. Well, it's a little late now. Got to get it fixed first, and then I definitely will have to do something. If we fix it, we got to do it. So those are the two things that I wish I would have known when we got our Tesla, because I would have taken care of these things immediately. But I did not expect this. So if you're buying a used Tesla, make sure you inspect those two areas for damage. Obviously, if it has damage, it's up to you if you still want to buy it or not. But at least negotiate the price down a little if the price is already high or something. And if you are purchasing a new Tesla, well, get that PPF patch minimum, get the mud flaps, buy them from Tesla, buy them aftermarket, but make sure you have them. And since I have to do so much paint work on here, I'm gonna show you a third problem that you may wanna consider as well while you're doing these other two things. You might as well do that third thing. It's not nearly as bad, but you might as well because it goes along the same lines. All right, here we are. We're at the front again. That is the hood, the frunk. Can you see it? You probably can. This is not dirt, no. Right here has a big chip. We got some chips there. I mean, there's a lot of them all over the hood. Here. Chips down here. I mean, all over the place. This entire hood is chipped in many places. So what looks like dirt is not dirt. Those are also chips. This is not uncommon, and this was not uncommon on other cars we had. The front just gets hammered. The hood, as well as your fascia down here, that just gets hammered. If you live in an area like we do with lots of sand in the wintertime or gravel roads and stuff, that is pretty common. Here, again, PPF would be the key to prevent this. And, well, while you're doing PPF on the sides over here, you know, you might as well do PPF over here in the front, because you probably can get a decent deal to do all of this. Do the hood, the front fenders, the front fascia, the doors, everything, the quarter panel. Well, do the whole car. Many people have done it, and I opted not to, and now I got all this. Yeah, it depends a little bit on where you live, but you definitely want to get the mud flaps. You want to get the patch that goes back there in front of the rear wheel. But you may consider doing the front as well. You may consider wrapping the entire car in PPF. Yeah, it's too late for us. We got to do the repairs now. But yeah, make sure if you buy a Tesla, get the mud flaps, get at least the patch back there. I maybe spent the $3,000. I was too cheap to spend $3,000 to have this wrapped in paint protection fabric, but maybe you should. It's probably worth the money because right now, if we would paint all of it, it definitely costs way more than $3,000 for a good job that will last. And if we just paint it, guess what? It happens all over again. So if we paint it, then we have to protect it. So now it costs even more money. Yeah, so do this right off the bat. If you buy used, check it out for damages like this, then maybe you can negotiate a better price. If you just bought your car and you already see certain paint damage, well, go see Tesla. Maybe you can get at least something like we did. Maybe you can get a set of floor mats for free or something. I don't know. But definitely with the Model 3 and the Model Y, you need to get mud flaps and some paint protection along the bottom, probably the front too. It doesn't hurt. It costs a little bit of money in the beginning, but it's worth it in the long run, as you can see here on our car. This car is now 5 years old, has about 85,000 miles on it. And it's, yeah, paint down there is really bad. Well, no more paint. So, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. Don't make the mistake we did. Please give us a thumbs up for this video. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Hit that notification bell so you get a notification when we got a new video coming out. We also got a whole bunch of other videos, so click our channel icon and look at all these other videos we have. Do you have range anxiety? You don't know how to travel with your EV or unsure about it? Well, go look at our channel. We have tons of travel videos in the wintertime, in the summertime with this Model 3, with a 2013 200,000 mile Model S rear wheel drive with a Chevy Bolt. So we got lots of stuff there. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. Give us a thumbs up for this video. Also, down below in the description, there's a link to our Redbubble store. Go check it out. We got some merch there. You might like something. In any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.